Like, what's up? What's up, everyone? What's up, Stephen?
Hello, what's up, Dhanush? All well?
Yeah,
What's up, everyone?
you
Hope you
must
all
be.
are doing well.
Yeah, everyone's doing well, especially Manchester United fans. Especially Manchester United fans.
This is the time for you to be well. This is the time to rejoice.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll get into all that. So today, I think we are
Yes.
exclusively doing Champions League. It's all football.
Yep.
Yeah. So hope you guys.
We'll also try to like if we'll also try to do some predictions and we'll try to cover the
Yeah,
Premier League games coming up
yeah.
because starting tonight actually. And there's hardly any time left.
Mm-hmm.
For those of y'all who are playing FPL, remember the deadline is tonight, not
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's
yeah,
at 11 p.m. So make your changes.
yeah,
Whoever is listening.
yeah. Exactly. So let's begin with the Champions League with match day 2.
Yes.
So let's begin with Bayern winning against Lokomotiv 2-1.
Okay, who scored? I didn't watch the game.
So I think the first goal was scored by Goretzka, and then the second was Kimmich.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Two unlikely goal scorers.
yeah,
But yeah.
but you didn't watch the match, right, Steven?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so I actually watched the highlights. I didn't watch the match, but I think I watched like 20-30 minutes of the live match. Then I watched the highlights to see what the score was.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, like, Bayern do look a little shaky this season, dude. Like, they are not their
Yep.
formidable selves for how they were in the last season. They look very
Okay.
shaky in the back, like especially their defense. It's very leaky. They open up
And there's
spaces.
also news that Alaba may not extend the contract. He may not sign another contract with Bayern. So there is allegedly other interests from top La Liga clubs for
Yeah,
David Alaba.
and also
So
Alfonso Davis is injured as well.
Davis is injured again.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Like what is how bad is this injury? To
I
what
think he,
extent is he out?
I think his injury was pretty severe. I think
Yeah,
because
because I heard like I saw some comments and all where people were well wishing him, saying that get well,
yeah,
Alfonso, soon and all that stuff. So I thought it might be pretty serious.
yeah, it was a pretty serious. Like I think his right ankle was injured,
Oh man,
so he would miss up to like 2 months of action.
oof, two
Yeah,
months.
yeah, it was a ligament damage, so
Oh,
he could go.
wow,
Yeah, he could be out for
that's
six
so
to eight
sad.
weeks.
That's so
Yeah,
sad.
exactly.
And
And
that's ligament and ACL. ACL and ligament are the same thing, right?
yeah, I think so. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, those injuries are the worst for any
Yeah,
kind of football player
and
because you are never the
especially
same player after that.
yeah, especially he's young. So I mean, when you have an injury like this,
Yeah.
especially when you're young, you might be able to carry that in your career.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like it's the worst. It's the worst. I mean, the worst time to pick up an injury is when you're a teenager.
yeah, exactly. I mean, look at what happened to Dembele when he went to Barcelona.
Look at what happened to Dembele. Look at what happened to Asensio, who
Yeah,
at his time was one of the best young player in the world.
yeah,
And look at him right now. What like
exactly.
it's so sad to see him play like that.
Yeah.
And there are so many other players.
So you have to be very careful when you're young, and especially when you pick up an injury like that. Same thing with happened to Shaw as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Shaw was barely 20 years, 20 or
yeah,
21
yeah.
years old
But
when
that
he
was
joined
was
United.
was a much more severe injury. But anyways, like it was
Yeah,
very hard for
it
him
was a
to.
life-threatening injury.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever he had,
Yeah,
career-ending injury that
yeah,
was.
exactly. So it was very hard for him to come back right now. But yeah, hope he comes back strong, especially with
Yeah.
with the promise that he has. Like he could become one of the best. I mean, he's already like one of the best left back in the world.
Who? Luke Shaw?
No, Davis, Alfonso Davis.
Okay. I was surprised when
No,
I thought you were talking about Luke Shaw.
no, Alfonso Davis.
Yeah, Davis certainly
Yeah,
is. He is. I
exactly.
think he is in line to win the Golden Boy award this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's the front runner to win it.
Yeah, I mean he's 19 years old and people already talk about him and Andrew Robertson in the same sentence.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
so that's why. So anyways, Bayern like they look very shaky this season. I don't think they'll win. They'll retain the Champions League this year. I feel like there'll be some other team who might win it. Hopefully Manchester United. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I mean, if we maintain the form that we have,
yeah,
that
yeah,
we have right now in
yeah,
Champions League, we
yeah.
can at least make it to the quarters.
For sure, for sure.
We can be a formidable threat to whoever is going to face us in the quarterfinals.
Exactly. So with that, let's move on to the next one, which was Shakhtar versus Inter Milan, which was a 0-0.
Acha, I didn't even know this match happened. So
Yeah, so this match, like Luka, I mean, I would say that Inter were the better team. Like they could have gotten a win, but Shakhtar do look like a pretty good team, dude. Like they have their one of those seasons, right, where they come into the Champions
yeah,
League.
I mean, defeating Real Madrid 3-2 and
Yeah,
holding Inter Milan, which is
yeah,
such an attacking team. I
exactly.
mean, who's been scoring? It's raining goals in Serie A,
Yeah,
with Lukaku scoring goals for fun and all that stuff.
yeah,
It's quite nice that a team like Shakhtar,
yeah.
who's like this bunny club for Manchester City,
Hmm.
is squaring off against big teams and sort of giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think we have to keep an eye out on Shakhtar as well to see. I think they could do some good in the tournament this year.
Hmm.
Yeah. So moving on, next was Marseille versus Man City, where Man City won 3
Oh,
0.
that was a cruiser, right?
Yeah, that
3-0.
was. Yeah, this was like like proper. I mean, they weren't still at their best, but this was like the proper Manchester City performance that we expect from them all these years
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
have seen them.
I mean, but I don't know. I mean, they have not been able to replicate that form in the Premier League.
Yeah.
At least the start of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with them. That's one reason why this Premier League, the title race is so open right now. Like anyone can go ahead and win it.
Exactly.
It's like outside of your Liverpools and Cities and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so this was like a very proper, confident performance from Man City, which we haven't seen them perform like that since the season began.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like,
and De Bruyne is back too, and
exactly.
he was at his usual best. I think he got 2 assists.
Yeah.
So he could prove a differential pick in this FPL, in this
Exactly.
game week's FPL team.
Yeah.
Not many people have picked him in this spot, but he could
Yeah.
prove to be a differential.
So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one, which was Liverpool beating, I don't even know how to pronounce this club. Mjäsland? I don't know.
Midtjylland.
Yeah.
We have played them.
Yeah,
United
Midtjylland, yeah. 2-0. So they won 2-0 against them.
Yeah.
Which is pretty comfortable, but Midtjylland did look like they're going to threaten Liverpool because, again, like...
Yeah, Liverpool got the second goal, I think, at the end of 90th minute or something. 90th
exactly.
or 93rd minute, where Salah went and scored the penalty.
Yeah, exactly. And even, I mean, the same case with Liverpool as well. Like their defense without Van Dijk, they look so shaky.
Yep. Yeah. So that's one thing about Liverpool, right? Like they have a line of good fixtures.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, but their defense looks damn shaky because without Van Dijk, I mean, you can't expect Robertson and Trent Arnold to go ahead and attack like they did in the last season.
Exactly.
They used to do that because there was the solid presence of Van Dijk at the back. There was a security that Van Dijk provided that, whatever happens, it's okay, I'll take care of it. Now that Van Dijk is out for the rest of the season, Robertson and Trent will have to play a little more deeper. Yeah. Which sort of cuts back a lot of their attacking opportunities that they had.
And also because they don't have a proper second defender as well.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And you can't rely on prospects like Joel Matip and Gomez or even Fabinho. Fabinho is injured and I think out for some time now.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on Joel. I mean, Gomez is quite promising, but he does silly errors.
Yeah.
And Matip also is not so reliable, and because he's not as quick as Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, he doesn't possess the positional sense which Van Dijk has.
Yeah.
So that automatically gives away the fact that Trent and Robertson will have to play a little more deeper, which sort of cuts the attacking opportunities that provided Liverpool in the first place.
Yeah.
Most of the Liverpool attack originates from those two flanks, two guys, Trent and Robertson.
True.
But Robertson is still playing ahead. He is getting into the boxes a lot more. He's taking shots and all that stuff. But this time, I think Trent won't be able to replicate whatever the antics that he produced last season because he's playing much more deeper.
Yeah.
And so Liverpool are in some serious trouble, and it is. I mean, we should be waiting to see what Klopp does to fix that.
Yeah, I think this season, especially, I feel like Andrew. I think Andy Robertson. Like when it comes to his game, he's much more of a balanced player where he can go back, defend, and at the same time he can go forward and attack as well. Like he's like Mane, where he'll keep pressing the ball until he gets it. But Trent is like a whole different player. Like he I mean, everyone knows
Trent because is like. Trent is almost like a right winger.
Yeah, exactly.
He's almost like the second right winger.
Yeah, exactly.
He's damn good. He's damn good creatively, and his free kicks are amazing as well. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
For Naam ke waste, he plays on defense, I feel
Like
sometimes.
everyone remembers him or everyone knows him as a good player is because of his attacking prowess. Like, but when it comes to defensively, he does a lot of error and he is not that good compared to, like, being a right back. You have to be really good at defense as well, which is not.
Hmm.
And I feel like Van Dijk was the one who like compensated for that because he didn't leave a lot of spaces for him so that he
Yeah,
had the
he
freedom to go
covers most of
forward.
the spaces.
Yeah, exactly.
He covers most of the spaces.
Yeah, so
Plus, Liverpool play a very high line of defense.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Van Dijk is the man, is like at the heart of their defense and takes care of everything.
Yeah, so I think
And the
this
defense is
season.
built around him, I feel
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So this season, I think Trent might be exposed a lot, where we might see his game not as good as like the previous two seasons. So I don't know
Yeah.
how Klopp is gonna adjust that. I mean, I feel like he doesn't even play like a right back. Like he should be a midfielder or a winger. Like that's like the
I mean, this
proper.
season defensively, he's looked a little error prone.
Yeah.
But last season, he was fantastic. He was very good both attack wise and
Yeah,
defending
like I
wise.
said, but because again, like because Van Dijk is present over there, like he has some
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
protection over there. But like I think Liverpool should do what Bayern did with Kimmich. Like Kimmich started out in the right back position, but obviously
Hmm.
like his passing is like out of this world. He's kind of like Ozil-esque, where Ozil has this precision passing in his game,
Hmm.
and also his range, like when it comes to shooting and taking free kicks, he's really good as well. So it's kind of like the
Hmm.
like Kimmich for Liverpool. So I feel like he should be able to transition into the midfield or as a right winger and then get someone else for the
Hmm.
right back position who is like a proper right back.
Who's their makeshift right? I mean, who's their other option? There are some kids on the
Yeah,
bench
yeah. They don't
who
have a
plays right
proper.
back.
They don't
I
have a
think Reece
proper.
Williams.
Yeah, they don't have a proper right back option. I think they could either go for someone like Lamptey, who is like both good for going forward, and he's also a very good defender as well. Like I think
Hmm.
we have forgotten that like right backs or left backs, one of their main games should be to defend, and then it should be to attack, because that's
Hmm.
what
Yeah.
their first job is, like to defend. And then the extra feature is, I mean, the modern day right back would be or left back would be to go attack, but the first thing
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
to defend. I mean, that's what like
Yeah.
we are. That's why we are okay with Aaron Van Bissaka as well. Like no, I don't think even in Europe, no, there is no fullback who is as good as defending when it comes to Aaron Van Bissaka. But
Yeah. Yeah.
when it comes to going forward, he is as slow as a Titanic, or he's as shit as someone who plays cricket on a football pitch. Like that's how bad he is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
The
that's why
man
we are
just loses all of his sense. He just doesn't know what to do.
exactly.
He's like Luke Shaw when he goes front and tries to cross.
Oh my God. I mean, Luke Shaw at least like tries to deliver something or he runs it forward.
Oh man, I hate Luke Shaw.
He,
If there is one player I want to get rid of from United, it's Luke Shaw. I don't understand how he deserves that first team
I'm okay with
playing
him,
to
dude.
them.
I feel like he's good. He's a good player. I feel like
Because
yeah.
aside from Fred, he just doesn't know how to pass. All his passes are missed passes. I saw like even against Leipzig, there were so many passes that were missed passes.
Mm-hmm.
And the man doesn't have basic positional sense. He sometimes plays as a center back, and
Yeah.
Maguire plays as a left back.
Yeah.
He sometimes he doesn't track back sometimes, which is so annoying. That
Yeah.
man doesn't have basic intelligence, is what I feel.
One of
That
the things
annoys
that
me. That really
yeah,
annoys me.
one of the things that I like about Luke Shaw is he takes the ball forward, he drives at the defense, which is
Yeah,
not a lot of like Aaron can't do that. So
yeah,
left
but
is the
what is the
only
use
channel.
if you always pass into the other
Yeah,
player's feet?
that's
That
yeah.
is not going to help,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's the thing that he needs to fix. But other than if he fixes that, he would be a pretty good, decent attacking left back. So he needs to
I mean,
fix his game up.
he's never going to be that player that he was at Southampton
Yeah.
after that injury.
True. I mean, that's why I think that's one of the reasons why we bought Telles.
Hmm.
Yeah. So moving on to the next match, which was Mönchengladbach and Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid cannot catch a
Oh,
break in Champions League.
what is happening to Real Madrid, man? What is this
Oh
happening
my
to Real
God.
Madrid? And this Vinicius dude,
Yeah.
that guy. I mean, he is so. I sometimes feel he is like Rashford 2.0.
Yeah.
Why? I'll tell you why. Because he does everything so well until that final third, and never delivers after that.
Yeah.
There is no finishing quality at all. There is no finishing touch.
Yeah.
Rashford at least have improved a lot more. We saw that against the game. I mean, in the game against Leipzig. But Vinicius, man, I don't know. I think he is a world-class player until he reaches that final third.
Yeah.
After
True.
that, he's just a tutty player.
Yeah.
He's just so bad.
He needs to improve his finishing.
He passes it back and all that stuff.
Yeah, he needs to improve. I mean, he's a very good dribbler as well. Passer, yes, decent
Yeah,
passer.
but what is the use? But
Yeah,
what is the use? Like if you
yeah,
have only dribbling and pace,
yeah.
it's like he sprints from defense to attack, and after that he just doesn't know what to do.
Like I remember when he broke out into the Real Madrid first team, like people were talking about him like he's gonna be the next Ronaldo and stuff like that. But
He has the
then
potential.
he has the
Frankly,
potential,
he
yeah,
does.
of
He
course, yeah,
has that
yeah.
potential.
He has the potential, but he hasn't lived up to it. Like if you look
Hmm.
at a player like Ansu
He
Fati, who is
just
in
he just
Barcelona,
correct
yeah,
exactly. He just needs to convert the goals, the chances he gets. That's all.
exactly. Yeah, but I mean, Real Madrid, I don't know what's gonna happen to their season. I mean, they're playing pretty well in their league, but in the Champions League, I don't know, they can't seem to
League,
catch a break.
La Liga. What is the competition for them? There is
I know.
absolutely no
Yeah,
competition.
true. But still, like there is at
This
least
they actually
Barcelona.
deserve to lose the game, but
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Ramos scored in the final minute.
Yeah. It was
The last
Casemiro,
minute he equalized.
Casemiro.
Casemiro, okay.
Yeah, Casemiro. Yeah. So, anyways, let's see. It's gonna be interesting what happens to Real Madrid. Like it's like you're kind of seeing them like the fallen giants. I mean, obviously it's too early to.
Madrid really needs reinforcements in their team.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
badly need to sign new players.
For sure. I mean,
They
it's their
cannot take
fault,
the
right?
squad
I
head to
mean,
top.
they won the treble with the Champions League with such a experienced and also old players, which were at the height of their
Hmm.
career.
And also, the fact that Ronaldo has left them has completely affected them. Like
Exactly.
they've been trying to find the suitable replacement for him, but have failed until this
Yeah.
point.
The
And
same
I don't
thing.
see them. I don't
Yeah.
see them like the best prospect was Hazard
Yeah.
because for whoever has watched Premier League, all know what a world class player Hazard was until he
Yeah.
joined Real Madrid.
Yeah. He played in this match as well, right? He
Yeah, he
actually
did. He did.
he did do like a couple of good dribble, but other than that,
Yeah,
like we didn't
he
see
was all right.
like the old Hazard that we saw at Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah. So moving on to
The
another,
Hazard at Chelsea was easily the best player in the Premier League.
the best for sure, without a shadow
There
of
was
a
no
doubt.
argument.
Yeah.
No
So,
argument.
so moving on to the next match, which was a big one, which was Atletico Madrid versus RB Salzburg.
Okay.
Did you watch it? It was
No,
3-2.
I have no idea what the result also is.
So Atletico won 3-2 against Salzburg.
Oh yeah, how Felix scored the winner, right? This time.
Yeah. I mean, Felix was so good in this game.
Yeah. He
Like
scored 2 goals, or just one?
he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second and the third goal.
Yes.
But he was like
Yeah,
he
I
was
saw the score line, but I didn't see
yeah
the highlights.
he was so good. Like he could become like for Portugal, he could become like the next big player, like how Ronaldo was. I mean, of course, maybe not as big as him, but he could definitely become the next marquee player for Portugal for sure.
Oh,
He
he's a
was
Portuguese, so.
yeah, he's a Portuguese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
He's
Yeah,
Portuguese.
yeah.
Yeah. But actually,
And I
like
think almost the entire Portuguese squad is in the Wolves squad, in the Wolves team.
Yeah.
All of them
Exactly.
are Portuguese players.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, true. But I mean, this game, like I think Suarez, I think he had a couple of chances where he didn't create. I mean, he didn't convert. But after that, like the game was, I feel like it was a very fair result because, of course, Salzburg did play well, but at the same time, Atletico did play to their strength and they got the result finally, and especially with Joao Felix. But there is one
Okay.
defender, one midfielder in Salzburg. His name is very hard to pronounce. His name is Dominic. Oh my God, his name is okay. I'm gonna spell it out, Steven. You try to pronounce it, okay?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
His last name is SZO.
SZO. Wait, I'll try and write this down, or else I won't get it.
Our football podcast just turned into a dictation. Okay, it's gonna be amazing.
See, guys, see the efforts we are putting for
Exactly.
you all. You guys don't subscribe at all.
Exactly. What is wrong with you guys?
SZA.
No, SZO.
Yeah.
BOS.
BOS.
ZIA.
ZIA.
AI.
Oh, there's another I after A.
Yeah. There's another I after A.
What is this, dude? This is like a Hebrew, Greek, Israeli name mixed.
Try to spell it.
I'll repeat the spelling again, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. SZOBOSZIAI. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let me try and pronounce it. So, for sure, the S is silent.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Zob. Oh my God, Zobozzi.
Zobzi. I'm lost too. I'm trying to look up the pronunciation for this.
Zoboszlai.
He's Hungarian. I think he's Hungarian.
Oh, Zoboszlai.
Oh, his name is so, yeah, he's Hungarian. His name is so hard to pronounce. Oh my God.
Zoboszlai.
I don't know exactly if it's Zabozii, but I
Chalo,
think
it's
this,
okay. Go ahead. Let's go. Let's get to the point.
yeah, let me try to.
What's with him? What's up with him?
Oh, okay, it's Sabozlai.
Lie. There's an
Yeah,
L.
there's an L, I think. Oh, it's an L. Yeah, yeah. It's very faint, so that's why I couldn't. It's L, L, L.
Oh, okay.
L-A-I. Zabozlai.
Okay. Zoboszlai.
Yeah, it's Dominic
Makes sense.
Zabozlai.
Yeah. So what's about him?
Zabozai. No, it's I. It's I. Zabozai. Yeah, it's Zabozai.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I. Zabozai. Yeah, dude, he is. I feel like he's gonna be like in Europe. He's gonna be like one of those world-class midfielders.
So good.
Yeah, he's really
How
good.
old is
Dude.
he?
I think he's around 20, like in his 20s. Dominic
Okay.
Szoboszlai.
What midfield? Mein what position does he occupy?
He's more like a box-to-box midfielder.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, he's really good. Like he's one player to watch for the future. I mean, there are already so many clubs surrounding him. Like a lot of big clubs do have their attention on him, and I feel
What's his
like
first name? Dominic. Huh?
Dominic. Yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai. He's really good. Arsenal,
Hungarian.
yeah, Arsenal are keeping tabs on him, and I think some other European clubs are also looking at him as well. He's 20 years old. He's a really good player.
Was nominated for the Hungarian Footballer of the Year.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's a really good player. Like one for the future. Like I think he is definitely destined to move in the next year or maybe a year after that. He's destined to move to a bigger club for sure.
Yeah, Arsenal are keeping tabs on
Yeah,
Salzburg.
exactly. Yeah. So all the people who are listening to this, look out for that player, Dominic Szoboszlai.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next game, which was Ajax versus Atalanta, 2-2 draw.
Oh, this apparently was a pretty good game, is what I heard. I didn't see the game or the highlights, but I heard this was a very nice, futuristic sort of game.
Very exciting game, dude.
Yeah, one of the Athletic articles was mentioning that the tactics used was quite futuristic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, both the coaches that they have, like they're pretty, I wouldn't say like new coaches, but they're like new to the scene.
Yeah, correct. I think I heard or I think read, I have this faint memory of reading somewhere that Atlanta has some very, very attractive tactics.
Yeah.
And I think Peter Bosch is still the coach of Ajax, right? Is he?
No, it is Ten Hag.
Okay, Ten Hag.
Yeah, Ten Hag.
Cool.
Erik Ten Hag.
Erik Ten Hag. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. So
now, so did you see the game? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I just watched the game. Like they played pretty well. Like it was a deserved draw. Like both the team played really well, dude. Like they were attacking. They were trying to score each other. I mean, trying to draw each other, trying to win the match. But at the end, for Atalanta, I would say their catalyst was Zapata, their striker, who is another young player, who is another up-and-coming player for Atalanta.
Okay.
Who looks like he's gonna be a big deal in the future as well.
A big what?
He's gonna be a big player. Like his name is Duvan Zapata. So he scored both the goals in the match, and it was like two really good finishes, like a proper poacher finish.
And I think our United player, what's his face?
Amad Traore.
He didn't start. I think
he didn't start. I think he started. He played some league games, but he didn't start for the Champions League.
Okay.
Yeah, but Zapata looks like a striker, like a really good striker who might be able to move for a bigger club, just like your Szoboszlai. I think I got that name right. Yeah.
Szoboszlai, yeah.
Yeah. So he's pretty old, but still, like he's a good player who I would say like he's better than like he needs to be for a better team than Atlanta. Not saying that Atlanta is not a good team, but I would
Atlanta
say
is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're quite exciting.
Yeah, for the recent couple of years, they have been really good. Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting
prospects.
Yeah. So moving on to the next one, which is I think it was But Juventus, yeah, the big game, another big game, which was
Yeah,
Juventus,
yeah.
yeah, Juventus versus Barcelona.
Yeah, the supposedly big game, but
Yeah,
didn't turn out to be a big game because of the big
exactly,
man's absence.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
So
it, I mean, obviously it's a very fair result. Like Barcelona won 2-0 against Juventus. Barcelona were
yeah, yeah.
clearly the better team.
But no, but Juventus also did play well because
Yeah,
they
yeah, they
had
did
three
play well.
goals ruled out offside,
Yeah,
and
which
I
were
mean
correct.
sometimes it's correct,
Yeah,
yeah,
which
yeah.
were correct.
No,
Which
I
one?
think the third goal or the second goal, it was
No, no,
quite
no.
unfair.
All of them were offside. All of them were offside, and all of them were offside from Morata, from Morata's attempt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
could have scored. He could have had a hat trick.
yeah, exactly.
So that was quite sad to see.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like apart from the loss, I think there were quite a lot of positives that Pirlo could take from the game.
yeah.
But yeah, Barca also did play pretty well.
They played Ansu Fati, Messi. They played really well. Dembele scored a goal, which was obviously a
Dembele, yeah, it
deflection.
was a heavily deflected goal,
Yeah, yeah,
but still good to
yeah.
see, one of our favorite players getting on the
Exactly.
score sheet.
Yeah, they played well. But right now, like all the buzz with the Barcelona is like Messi, is he gonna sign a new contract? And another
Yeah,
was,
now that Josep Bartomeu has resigned,
yeah,
and while resigning, he said that I'm okay with Barca playing the Europa League. I mean, what is that? European
European
Super
Super
League.
League, yeah, which
So
was
I
like,
don't mind Barca playing for that.
why would
Which
he
is
say
sort
something
of
like that?
yeah, which is sort of dropping a bomb, just to
Yeah.
create fire, just to add fuel to the fire
No, I
before
think he
leaving.
said that Barcelona have agreed to play for the European Super League.
Yeah, Barca have apparently agreed. Also, Real Madrid have apparently agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks like almost a very highly likely possibility.
Like I told
Pretty
you
pretty
earlier,
good.
like in the last
Yep.
two podcasts, yeah.
We Dhanush did bring this up in the
Yeah,
previous
yeah, yeah.
episode.
So this is something
We
that
did
could
cover this.
become come into fruition because like right now because of COVID, like a lot of institutions are like lacking finances. So
Yeah,
this,
and
uh,
like you mentioned, I think JP Morgan has promised to fund
yeah,
it.
exactly. So a lot of
So
clubs wouldn't want to look away from such huge amounts of money coming into their hands. So I would
yep.
say they would, yeah.
So yeah,
But I would say like
but
in this
again, like
game,
there's another rumor that
yeah,
what's his face, Pep.
yeah,
Pep may not sign another contract with City, and he might get back to Barca,
yeah, yeah,
right? So I think one of the contender who's contesting for elections for the post of president in Barcelona has promised that
yeah. Hmm.
like not promised, but has sort of initiated this initiative of reuniting Messi and Pep, and
Ah,
fans are supposedly quite excited because of that. So
okay.
he hasn't promised outright, but he has hinted at this. So
But
this is a possibility because I'm not sure if Pep is very keen on extending a contract and staying for another couple of years or 3 years at a City,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure he would want to get back to Barca.
Yeah, and
And if he's
also,
getting back to Barca, I don't see Messi leaving Barca.
yeah, and also, like I would say, like recently Messi hasn't been playing that well. Like you kinda
Hmm.
are
But
seeing
he
like
was really good against Juventus. He was
yeah,
pretty good. He was
he was
creating a
pretty
lot of
good.
chances. He was
Yeah,
in the heart of everything.
he was, but I mean, we still haven't like for a couple. I mean, I would say like for the last 6 months, we haven't seen Messi like how Messi really is. Like
Hmm.
there is a gradual, slow decline of Messi going on right now. Like obviously, like even though he's declining, he's still one of the best players in the world. But
Hmm.
like like the prime Messi, like even the Messi that was 2 years ago,
Yeah,
we
I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm sure.
exactly.
Because he's what, like 33, 34 now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I would say with Ronaldo, he's still being consistent. Obviously, he's not putting
Hmm.
up numbers like he did at Real Madrid, but he still looks like the
Yeah.
player that he was like 2, 3 years ago.
He, yeah, I think he's one of the top three scorers.
Yeah,
I mean, in his debut season for Juventus, he was one of the top three scorers in Serie A. And
exactly.
also last season, I think one of the top three scorers.
Yeah, so I would say
So for
that
his age, he's doing quite well.
yeah, Messi, I don't know. Let's see what happens with this situation. But yeah, this was a pretty good game by Barcelona, very clean win, 2-0. And Juventus got a red
Yep.
card as well. So yeah, there's that to yeah
Yes.
to put on more pain onto the loss. So moving on to the next one, which was Chelsea won 4-0 against Krasnodar.
Yeah.
Krasnodar,
Correct.
Krasnodar.
Even I
Yeah,
didn't get the name.
yeah, Krasnodar.
Is there a Turkish side? Is that a Turkish side?
I don't exactly know. I don't know if they're Turkish. I think so. I think, yeah, such a name like this, I think they are Turkey, I think. Krasnodar. Yeah, maybe they are. But did you watch the game?
No, I did see the highlights though.
Oh, you didn't watch the
Yeah.
match?
Oh, it's a Russian club.
Oh, it's a Russian
It's a
club.
team
Yeah,
in
it's a Russian
Russia.
club. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Russian club. So I actually watched the match, and I have to say, like Chelsea in the first half, they were very nervous, and Jorginho missed a penalty.
Yeah, I did see
Yeah,
that. I did see that.
yeah,
Oh
Jorginho
man,
missed a
that
penalty.
was just. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
and I'm sure there'll be discussion about that because I think the secondary taker is who's it? Tammy Abraham. I think the Tammy
no,
Abraham is the
I don't
second
think so.
option.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think
because I've seen Tammy Abraham take a lot of penalties as well.
yeah, I think it would be Mason Mount, right?
No, it's usually Tammy Abraham.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean,
But I'm still, it's been what, 6 or 7 weeks of football now
yeah,
since the new season started,
yeah,
and I'm still unclear as to what Lampard's tactics is, like what Chelsea's
exactly,
style of play is. I
exactly.
don't understand what they're trying to do. I
Yeah,
mean, he's rotating like even if he has a success, even if he gets successful results, he's trying to rotate that
yeah,
squad. He's trying to bring in players. He's trying to accommodate Havertz, Werner,
yeah, Ziyech.
Ziyech,
Yeah,
and all of these people together.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Lampard is trying to do.
But I would say
But quite
in
a good
the
victory for them.
yeah, but in the first half, like they scored the first goal in the first half, but after that, they scored the rest of their 3 goals in the second half. But again, like you said, there is no identity with Chelsea. Like what you don't know what's going on with them this season. Like
Yeah,
Lampard
yeah.
still hasn't figured out the team, and players like Pulisic, like I think have fallen into the brunt of that. He hasn't been
Yeah.
performing well. Like last season, he was very good, his breakout season, but this season,
Pulisic, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I have him in my team also.
yeah,
I don't know if and they're playing Burnley this week in the
yeah,
Premier League,
which is a
who is
very good
supposedly
defensive
one of the
side.
best defensive sides. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good defensive side.
exactly.
They're very stubborn. They play a very low block game.
Yeah,
Block game.
exactly. Yeah, and in this match,
It's
Ziyech scored his debut goal for Chelsea, which was
yeah,
nice.
correct.
Yeah,
I think Werner also got I think
yeah,
he converted a penalty.
exactly.
Havertz got a goal.
Yeah, so it was a
They
pretty
are
good game.
getting goals, but it's just that they're not consistent. At least
Exactly.
Werner is not
Yeah, true.
for the potential and the price that
Yeah,
is labeled at him.
exactly. And the expectation that were behind him. So moving on with the next game, which was Dortmund versus Zenit St. Petersburg.
Oh, I think
That was
Sancho
a
got a
2-0.
penalty, no?
Yeah, he
Scored a
got a
penalty.
penalty, and
Yeah,
Haaland
and
scored a goal.
Haaland, of course,
Yeah,
scored another goal.
I mean these two look like they are not gonna be in the club in the next season for sure.
And by the way, I think I read somewhere that one of the Dortmund staff or one of the one of the people who occupies one of the higher positions in Dortmund said that Sancho's form has apparently dipped because of all the
Manchester United.
transfer saga with Man
Yeah,
United.
yeah. True. And
So I read that
also,
somewhere.
there are a lot of rumors saying that maybe we might go for Haaland in the next summer transfer window,
Yeah.
or maybe even in the winter
This is a
transfer
strong
window.
possibility.
Yeah, or maybe even
Sorry?
in the winter transfer window.
Okay.
Yeah, again, like highly unlikely that we'll sign him in the winter transfer window,
Winter,
but
though, I'm not sure.
yeah,
We might get him in the.
maybe we sign a defender, but not a striker for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
we'll get to that.
yeah.
So getting to the
Next game,
match of the week.
yeah, match of the week.
Match of the week.
Manchester
What a
United
performance.
winning 5-0 against Leipzig. Oh,
Of
what a
all
game.
teams, Leipzig.
Yeah,
Like if it was some Chotte team, I would have still given it like, okay, fine.
exactly.
But this was Leipzig,
Yeah,
who was managed by arguably one of the best managers in the world, best
yeah.
young manager in
Young
the
managers
world.
in the world, yeah.
So I don't know, man. But I really thought, I honestly felt Leipzig were pretty good in the first half.
Yeah.
It was in the second half that they completely lost plot and lost steam.
But I felt like the United were dominant like throughout the game. Yeah.
I was getting to that, but maybe because it was in the second half, United were damn good.
Yeah, true.
They were actually really good. They were so well organized.
Yeah.
Leipzig were pretty organized. If
Yeah,
you
true.
notice, if you watch the
And
game
the
in the first half,
pressing was
their
good
press
too.
was mad. Their
Yeah.
press was insanely mad. But United I think, I don't know what Solskjaer has told the team of late. Players know where to play, which position to occupy,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
what mistakes to cover, what
Yeah.
spaces to occupy, what to cover, and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
There was that fluidity
Yeah.
when the ball was being progressed, and in the midfield, and the striker was also playing very fluidly.
Yeah.
So I was so happy to see United play like this.
Yeah. And to add on to that, I was so happy to see Van der Beek start in this game.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yes.
after such a long
Yes.
time, we finally saw him.
And he almost played as a centre forward.
Yeah,
in the first
exactly.
half.
Yeah, he kind of played that position where Bruno plays whenever Martial
Yeah.
and Rashford is on.
Yeah, but I think the game completely changed after Bruno,
Yeah,
Rashford, and one more person, Cavani came.
Pogba.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. No, Pogba was pretty good at this game.
Yeah, Pogba was really good. Yeah, like he was
creating a lot of chances.
going forward. He was playing really well, dribbling. You know, he was showing his strength. He was playing like a full free football like he usually does, and it was so good to watch. But then, I mean, we had to talk about Rashford. Oh my God! Oh,
What almost ruthless, no? What a
yeah.
ruthless performance by Rashford.
And that too, he scored against like defenders like Upamecano and Konate. Oh my God! He was just a beast. Like he was unbelievable, unplayable on that day.
I think most of it resulted because United pressed quite well in the opposition half.
Yeah.
And also because of the high pressing that Nagelsmann employed, I mean, with Leipzig, they also played an extremely high line of defense. If you look at the second goal, they were, I mean, almost all of their defenders were well within United's half.
Yeah.
Which is why Bruno was successful in finding Rashford, and a lot of people. Even I discovered that day. Did you know that you can be? It is not an offside if it happens.
Yeah, I knew that. So I
didn't know this rule.
Yeah, I knew that. So that's why when I saw that, yeah, I actually when he was running away, like the commentators were saying that the flag was up, okay, but he still was going. And then I was like, okay, it's gonna be a VAR decision. I was like, okay. Then they showed the replay, and I saw him inside our half, and then I was like, okay, this is goal. This is a for sure.
I didn't know that. I found out.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a fan you are, you always learn new stuff when you watch.
Yeah.
Football. So,
like my
I didn't know this piece of it.
Only scare was like he was very near to the half line. So that's what maybe he might have gone over the line. So that was my only scare, but he wasn't. So thank goodness for that.
Exactly. Because when they were showing that replay, I was like, this is the Pakka offside because he is offside by a mile.
Yeah.
But then they told, then they clarified that no, it's okay if you're in your own half.
Yeah. It's not a matter of interpretation. It's a matter of fact. So if you're that's a goal. That's no problem. But it was like the first goal was amazing. The second goal, I mean, we saw Rashford dribbling, going past Upamecano like he wasn't even there.
Oh man, and there was, I mean, what's his face? Rashford could have easily had a fourth goal where there was this one moment where he defended the entire team. Like he was cutting the ball with his left foot onto the onto the left side. He beat like 2-3 players so easily. It was so beautiful to watch, and I think the shot was blocked by a defender.
And
so wonderful to watch.
And he was so unselfish as well. Like you could have taken the penalty, but he just gave it to Martial.
But he gave it to Martial. I mean, that would have done a whole lot good for his confidence because Martial is going through a rough patch.
Yeah. I mean, mainly because of the red card. Mainly because of the red card, he hasn't been playing in certain games. So but it was nice to see. Like he's been doing so well in do you know what is he been doing like off the pitch?
Yeah, of course. I think all the football fans, all Premier League fans know.
Exactly.
How valuable Rashford is on and off the pitch.
Yeah, like he's
got an MBE for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been doing work that even the politician of those his country hasn't been doing properly. And
I think his efforts was rightly well recognized by the Queen recently by awarding him the MBE. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, if he keeps doing this, I for sure I feel like he's gonna get knighted for sure. Yeah. For sure, if the work that he's doing right now, he's still doing it. Like, I think he finished his match recently and then he went straight out on the next day and he did his charity work. And that's like I mean, that's what you want to see from footballers. Like, with the kind of money that they earn, like you need to see.
And he's I think 2 or 3 years younger than us. So
that's it.
It's an inspiration, not just for any other up and coming footballer who's young, but even for people like us.
Yeah, exactly. But specifically, like people who are in those privileged position where they have a lot of money, these are the kind of
Yep.
stuff that you need to do. Like if the government isn't doing it, you need to do it so that they can see that what you are doing and they can replicate that.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was an
Yes.
awesome
Yes.
achievement. Like he's been doing so well off the pitch, he's been getting the recognition, and he's doing so well on the pitch as well. It's awesome to see him play. Like he's having fun, he's laughing with his mates and playing football. So it's awesome
He
awesome to see.
genuinely loves United.
Yeah,
That's one
exactly.
thing I really like about him.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
has grown up worshipping Man United.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney and Scholes
He's
and
from
all
our
those people.
academy ranks,
Yeah.
which is a factor that any United fan should celebrate
Yeah.
and be proud of.
Yeah.
And he has been easily one of the best player for United in the last
and he
few
wears the
years.
shirt of one of the best players that United has ever had in their club. So obviously, like he has shown that dedication for the club. So obviously, like
Yes.
yeah, I mean in Manchester United, like we fans, if the player does it on the pitch, like we'll never let their side. So that's how we are, right? We are not Real Madrid fans, okay? So yeah, thrown shade. So yeah, I'll be waiting for the hate comments.
Yeah, that is if we have viewers.
Yeah, if we have, yeah. I hope one of our like two out of one, two out of two that we have, one might be a Real Madrid fan, hopefully. So we might get one comment. So that would be nice. Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah.
yeah. But what about what do you think about Ole, Steven? Like the tactics that he had put out.
Ole, I think, is going to stay at United for another 10 years now.
Exactly, like at the right time he produces result.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the man is just an enigma.
Yeah, true.
It's an absolute mystery to the fans.
Yeah.
When he's at the cusp of getting sacked, I don't know what happens to him. It's
goes
like
on an insane
he
run.
goes to Popeye and gets the spinach out in him, and
Yeah.
he
goes
just
on
gets
this
all these amazing
insane
results.
run, like so he goes on like a 10-15 insane goal. I mean,
Yeah,
winning
and
run.
not one bad result in the last 4 or 5 fixtures.
Yeah.
All
Four
of them have
fixtures.
been satisfying results.
Yeah, except for the draw, every results are just a win. So we had
Yeah,
like
and
3
it's
wins.
not like all of them were third tier clubs or any
Exactly.
clubs. All of them are top class clubs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing with Ole, right? Like when it comes to the big teams, he plays really well. Like he has one of the best record against the big team. But when it comes to like the lower league teams, lower table teams, that's where he struggles a lot. I mean, that's the real. I mean, one of the main one of the main criticism about Ole is like he knows how to play against the bigger side or the better side, because obviously the bigger or the better side comes to United or plays against United where they try to attack us and we go on a counter attack. But all the lower table side, they sit back, and that's where we struggle. We struggle to break them down. So that is where we need to improve our game, which I hopefully think we might do.
Hey, what did you think of Upamecano? Do you think
he's still pretty good, dude.
we'll sign him?
Because I think even
defensively he might have made some errors, but I think one factor which I liked was he almost acted like a makefit midfielder.
Yeah,
he was progressing the ball. He was getting into the midfield. He was giving some very good passes.
And his touch is pretty good as well. Come for a defender. Like it's kind of like Van Dijk, where his touch is pretty good.
I think it's a no-brainer that he is a much better upgrade than Maguire.
For sure. Maguire, Lindelof are any like we haven't seen fully, we haven't seen 3 or 4 or 5 games of Tuanzebe. But I seriously believe like Bailly and Tuanzebe are like the better defenders that we have at United.
For sure.
It's just that they have to be injury free.
Tuanzebe still needs more time, but Bailly for sure.
Yeah. It's just that they have to be injury free. But all in all, it was such a happy game for us United fans after a long time, especially after the start.
I think this was the first time in the last time we won with a scoreline of 5-0 in a Champions League game was in 2013.
Yeah.
After that, we've never won a game with a scoreline of 5-0.
Yeah, and I think in the league, it was, I think, Ole's first game against Cardiff.
Cardiff?
Yeah, Cardiff. It was his first game where we won final.
Okay.
His first game. Yeah, where I think Lingard scored 2, Rashford scored 1. Martial scored 1. Herrera scored 1. Yeah, it was his first game where we won final, I think. Yeah. So it's a very good result for Ole. I hope he builds on, because in this league match, in this match day, we have a huge game coming up. So which, of course, we'll get on to the match day predictions. So now let's get on to the match day prediction, and that's our Champions League review. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. So let's move on to the Premier League prediction.
Let us know what you guys felt.
Exactly.
What was your favorite match?
Yeah, so let's move on to the Premier League predictions. So first game is Wolves versus Crystal Palace. What do you think, Samir, is going to happen?
This is going to be a very low-scoring draw, maybe a 1-1.
Yeah, right. But like
Yeah,
both the teams
yeah.
have pretty good attackers. Like they have Jimenez and
No,
we still have
yeah,
Zaha.
but I think the absence of Jota or Shota, or however you pronounce
Yeah,
his
Jota.
name, Diego Jota, is clearly affecting Jimenez's performance, because
Yeah.
Jimenez performs well when there is a wingman providing the balls to him. But I think Neto can sort of
Yeah.
fill in that absence that Shota leaves with.
Yeah.
They have such amazing players, so
Yeah.
wonderful players, and they can certainly produce goals. But Wolves just not show that desire to score goals.
And we
They are
still
just
haven't
playing like a
seen.
defensive game.
Yeah, and we still haven't
Huh?
seen that new, the most expensive signing of the summer, that 18-year-old who they signed, Fabio Silva.
Fabian Silva,
Yeah, Fabio
another
Silva.
Portuguese dude.
Yeah, I mean the reason why Wolves have so many Portuguese players is because they have Jorge Mendes, the super agent on their side, and he's like
Oh,
the person who represents almost all the Portuguese players. So like even
probably,
Ronaldo,
yeah.
yeah,
I think
he's
he's the
under them.
most influential
Yeah,
manager in football after Mino Raiola.
yeah, agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, agent. Yeah. So you feel like it's a draw then?
Sorry, agent. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe a 0-0 draw or 1-1.
Yeah,
That's all I'm expecting out of them.
yeah. I feel like it's going to be a very tight game. Either it's going to be a no, I don't feel like it's going to be a draw. There will be some goals, but I feel like it's going to be a draw for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on to the next one, Sheffield versus Man City.
I want to give this to City, but of late their performances have not, are not justifying this prediction. But I still want to give to City, because I think this game things might click for City, and City might just this game might prove that pedal that City needs to hit the gas with.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like City might
But
win.
again, Aguero is injured.
Yeah.
And I think Jesus also is injured, so they don't have a proper striker who can convert goals. But they have enough quality in their midfield and their attacking midfielders to put the game to bed. And De Bruyne is back as well, so I'm hoping that they should be winning this game at least by 2
Yeah,
goals.
I would say City might edge this because I mean the only reason why I'm saying that is because they played really well in the Champions League, and that might be able to help them catapult a good result into this game. But if not, I would have said draw because Sheffield is good defensively. But yeah, I feel like
I mean,
City is going to be
they are not as good as last year
last season. Yeah.
defensively.
But still, like against the big teams, you never know. All this like
Against
small
Liverpool,
teams.
they did play well
Yeah,
last game.
exactly. Yeah, so that's why I feel like against the big teams they might perform at their best. So I feel like it's gonna be a very like a slightly like I think they might edge a result City against Sheffield. So moving on to Burnley versus Chelsea.
This again is going to be a tough game for Chelsea, is what I
Yeah.
feel. I'm not sure if Chelsea can carry forward the momentum what they achieved in the game that happened midweek
Yeah.
against that Russian side,
Mm-hmm.
because Burnley clearly are a much different team.
Yeah.
They are defensively superior than a lot of teams in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I mean, and with the style of play, with the confused and uncertain style of play that Chelsea has right now, I'm not sure if they can get what they want. But I hope what's his face Lampard plays Ziyech in this game. He starts him because Ziyech always has that knack of unlocking tight defenses with his creative genius.
Yeah.
So I hope he starts, and I hope Pulisic delivers. Man, I don't know. I have so much expectations from that guy. I have him in my team as well. I hope he delivers.
Yeah.
And I hope Werner and what's his face Havertz. They
Havertz.
also play well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, Chelsea, like I don't know how many games that they need there where they still need to perform. Like we have been waiting for Werner and Havertz to kick in, and they still
Werner
haven't
has
done it.
frustrated all the FPL
Oh
managers.
my God, that guy has.
Just when you think this guy like there is no hope with him, he goes on to score 2 goals and an assist.
Exactly.
And he frustrates all the managers.
Oh my God, I've lost so many points. I mean, I haven't earned any points from him or Havertz as well. I thought they're gonna
You
get
had
some.
him. You had Werner for 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then when you transferred him out, he scored 2 goals.
Oh
No,
my
I think
God.
you still had him.
I think
in your
no,
team
I
when he
still have
scored
it.
that 2
No,
goals.
it was actually Havertz who scored an assist and who got an assist and a goal.
Acha.
Yeah, so I mean, both of them are so frustrating. Like Havertz, the price tag that they paid for him, he has been underperforming for sure. Like even though he is a player, he's a young player. There is still kind of there is a little bit of
But
expectation.
yeah, so apparently the argument for that is if you look at the team that he played in before he joined Chelsea, which was Leverkusen,
Hmm.
the team was built around him
Yeah,
because of the gift that he possesses, right?
yeah.
And I mean the abilities of the players were such that players played because they wanted to assist this guy
Hmm.
Havertz,
Okay.
and all the team and all the tactics were developed around this guy.
Hmm.
But that is not the case in Chelsea. Chelsea, I
Ah.
think Lampard has the system to which he wants all the players to adapt to.
Hmm.
See, either you can build a team with a clear system, with a long-term system,
Hmm.
and buy players accordingly which fit that system, or
Hmm.
you can buy good players and build a team around them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think which is what happened, which is what happened with Ziyech in the case when he was at Ajax, because
Yeah,
in Ajax the team was built around Ziyech,
yeah,
and that is not going to happen here. I think
yeah, yeah.
Lampard has a system which he's just not able to execute it to.
True, true, true. And also, like, I feel like Lampard is again like in the same boat as Ole as well, where I mean, the amount of times Ole gets criticized, I mean, that's how or Lampard should be criticized as well. But the only reason he doesn't get criticized is because maybe he's an England manager or maybe he's like I don't know what.
And he is Chelsea's legend, right?
Yeah,
He's
and also there
the
is
best player in the history of Chelsea, so
yeah,
that
and
sentiment is
also there
always
is a
there.
clear like bias against Solskjaer that he's not English, and that's why he doesn't get a lot of criticism, just like how Lampard does it for as a Chelsea manager. But again, what can you do? It's the fans and the pundits. Yeah.
Yep.
So moving on to the next one, Liverpool versus West Ham.
So West Ham apparently, if you look at the stats, have conceded very less. I mean, the shots on targets conceded is the best for
Yeah,
West Ham. They have
yeah.
conceded very less shots on target.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's Liverpool.
Yeah,
I think they are the team with the most number of shots.
yeah.
I mean, inside and outside the box both.
Mm-hmm.
I think after Spurs or something.
Yeah,
I think it's switching between those two teams.
yeah.
But so Liverpool should win this game quite easily. I don't see West Ham scoring against Liverpool. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully this should be a clean sheet for all the Liverpool players, whoever is there in a lot of FPL teams.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool should win this maybe like 2 or 3-0.
I would say that West Ham will actually get a narrow win against Liverpool. Because I mean, obviously Liverpool have their attacking prowess, but their defense looks so shaky, and West Ham have their attacking players who I feel like will try to break that
They have
Liverpool
good
defense.
attacking unit.
Exactly, exactly. So I feel like, and they're very good defensively as well. So I would say that maybe they'll soak in all the pressure that they could get from Liverpool and then go on a counter attack or try to get a corner where they could score a goal. So I feel like West Ham could edge the result. So I'm going for a West Ham win for this one for sure. So moving
I
on to the
think it
next,
will be a Liverpool win.
yeah. So I would say West Ham win. So moving on to the next one, Newcastle versus Everton.
So again, defensively, Newcastle has been one of the worst teams
Mm-hmm.
outside of your Fulhams and your West Broms.
Yeah,
So this should be but the one concerning factor is that James is out for at least 1 week now
yeah.
because he has a muscle, I think, or muscle injury, or there are rumors that he has a testicle injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what the scene is, but he's definitely out.
Yeah.
So I don't see that creativity being provided.
Mm-hmm.
And there is obviously no Richarlison, so it might be a tight game, but I'm still hoping that, and Dine also is out because he got the red card in the last match.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where Calvert-Lewin will get all the passes or the balls from. So because of that, I don't know. I think this could be a draw, or West Ham might, not West Ham, but Everton might edge out a very hard-fought victory.
Yeah,
But
I would
you
say,
never know.
I would say Everton might get a comfortable win because Newcastle, they're so unpredictable. Sometimes they play good, sometimes they play really bad. So I feel like Everton will.
They have been pretty bad this season.
Yeah. So I would say that Everton will come back strong after losing their
Yeah,
game
but
against Southampton.
Everton are missing. Are missing out their best players.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't have
true.
James Rodriguez. They don't have Richarlison. They also don't have
But I
Lukaku.
think I still feel like they have enough quality in their team for them to get a win over Newcastle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see.
So moving on to the next one, Tottenham versus Brighton.
Oh, there should be again. Like if you look at the stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brighton have conceded very less shots on target.
Yeah.
Extremely less shots on target. But and I think the expected goals for they conceded is around 4.25 something, but they have conceded 9 goals apparently,
Yeah.
which is insanely very bad, which is very
Yeah.
poor.
Yeah.
Because they leave a lot of space in their defense, which I think Kane and Son can exploit. And I think it should be an easy victory for Tottenham until and unless they change the tactics completely, like what they had against Burnley.
For sure.
So hopefully it should be, I think, at least a 2-0 victory for.
For sure, I feel like Tottenham will win because the Kane and Son are still in form, and it's the only thing that you need to. I mean, of course, they lost in their Europa League match in this week. This week, so I feel like
They lost, is it?
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
Who did they lose against?
I think they lost against. I don't know who exactly was it, but I saw like a status from Jose Mourinho on his Instagram handle where he said that. It was Antwerp.
Antwerp, okay, the Brazilian team. The Belgium team.
Yeah. So they lost 1-0.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this tweet where he said that everybody in the bus should be upset about the performance.
Exactly.
Or something on those lines.
Yeah.
Correct. Man, I hope they play well because I've captained Kane.
Yeah.
Kane is my captain.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that they'll get a win this one because they'll come back from that loss, and Jose would have properly like yelled at them. You guys need to be much more ruthless, bad guys, not a good guy.
Hey, do you think he should start Bale?
I feel like he should because I mean why not? Because you already have such good players going forward. Why not add into it? I don't think Kane will have put a handicap on them, right? So I feel like he'll help those two. So I feel like start him.
I think he's a much better upgrade than Lucas Moura. I mean, it's not,
for sure.
Discounting Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura is a good player.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still think he needs a lot more game time to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you saw that game against West Ham where they drew 3-3 and Bale came on as a substitute and almost scored a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
He was huffing and puffing after running a little bit.
Exactly. He doesn't have his fitness right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that fitness is a concern. So I think he needs a little bit more time and a little more game time.
Yeah, exactly.
Before he starts.
Yeah. So I would say a Tottenham win would be much more, I think, much more of a suitable result for them. So moving on to one of the big games of the week, which is Leeds United versus Leicester City.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I think I would want to give it to Leeds, but because although Leicester have won 4 games out of 2, it was the game against West Ham showed how vulnerable their defense is, and Castagne is out. Because he's taken up an injury, and they still have some inexperienced defenders. Although Vardy is back, I still feel
but he's not full 100%. He's not 100% yet.
Yeah, but he'll definitely play. I feel he'll definitely start. Because I think he's recovered almost 90% now. Castagne, who's one of their main defenders, is out at least for some time now because he picked up an injury in the last game. And because of that, I think Leeds, we all know what a ruthless team it is going ahead.
Yeah.
So I think it should be Leeds' game. Maybe 2-1 or 3-1.
Yeah, I would say the same as well because they are coming off with an awesome form in the league. Yeah, so I would give it to them, Leeds for sure.
Yeah, I mean Aston Villa, they were pretty good. And going into the Leeds game, they were probably the best defensive side. Without having conceded any goal, and they beat them absolutely ruthlessly 3-0 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
for sure. I would say Leeds still the favorites to win this one. And moving on to the last one, which is Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Oh, this is. I mean, I know United have been playing well.
Yeah.
But it's Arsenal, and Arsenal again is another unpredictable team. You just don't know how they're going to play.
And we are playing home, so there's that.
Okay, are we playing at Old Trafford or Emirates?
Old Trafford.
Okay. I would want to give it to United. But,
we generally don't play well at home. That's the problem. Yeah. So
I think United for the win. Maybe like a 2-1.
Yeah, the only reason we are saying that is because we played so well against Leipzig.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but
But
again, like,
this is a completely different team.
yeah, yeah,
Arsenal has an entirely different philosophy.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know. Let's
I
see.
don't feel like
Because if
there'll
you look,
be.
if in the
Yeah,
game against Leipzig, we were trying to play it out from the back, which is the
yeah,
same thing what Arsenal does.
yeah,
They have been employing the same tactics. So I don't know
yeah.
how we will
I
pan out again.
I don't feel like I don't feel like Arsenal will be able to score a lot of goals because their forwards are not in form and they don't have the proper
Oh yeah,
midfielder for them to supply
but I think
balls to them.
Arteta, I think Arteta in the recent press conference he told that he might,
Play
start
Ozil.
Oba as the striker.
And also you might play Ozil as well because they don't have a proper midfielder to supply to both the
Oh really?
strikers. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He said that.
Yeah, yeah. He said he might start Ozil because I mean he's free. He's
But
not
Ozil
doing
is not
anything.
in England. He's not in England.
I
He's
think
not
he's
training
back.
with the squad
I think
also.
he's back. I think he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are rumors saying that Ozil might start.
Acha.
Yeah. So I mean, not start, but at least he would be in the game because I feel like I mean, he's not doing anything, and they're paying such an exorbitant amount of wage for him. So, and also they don't have a proper midfielder like how we have as Bruno, Van de Beek, Pogba, where they get supplied
Yeah,
to the
yeah. That
forwards.
creative element is missing from
Yeah.
them,
So they don't have that,
which
and
which I think can be rectified by the presence of Ozil.
yeah, and also so that's why I would say that this is a game where it's a Manchester United game to win, where we cannot where there are like less chances for us to lose this game because they don't have that attacking threat and we have that attacking threat. Defensively, Arsenal is a little bit better than United, but if we can try to close their forwards or shut down their forwards like how we did against Leipzig or against PSG,
Yeah.
we definitely have a chance to win this game for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah,
Even I feel the same.
yeah. We could even batter them 4-0 or 5-0 or something like that. It's just that our defense has
That's quite
to,
debatable, but let's
yeah.
see.
It's just our defense has to properly play in this game and how to shut down their forwards. So I would say United win for sure. It's United's
Yeah.
match to lose for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the predictions are pretty normal.
Yeah.
There is nothing exceptional that we are trying to predict.
True.
Maybe like Dhanush has a very very unusual prediction with predicting West Ham for the win against Liverpool.
Exactly. That's the only one. Like
Otherwise, I think it's all pretty normal. It's very obvious.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a pretty chilled out one. Like I would say I think both of us are a little bit tired, so we weren't like our juvenile self.
Yeah.
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 So, but we'll come back with the same kind of, with not the same kind of energy, with a lot more energy. Yeah.
With
Not
much
the same
better
kind-
energy.
Yeah, with much better energy.
We
yeah.
we will come back with more energy if we have more subscribers and
Exactly.
if United batters Arsenal.
Yeah, for sure. Then I'm coming back with a lot more oomph.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
With a lot more energy.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
Dhanush will come in costumes on.
Yeah. I'll come in costumes. Like I'll bring my glasses, my special glasses. So
he'll be another pirate of the Caribbean.
Yeah, for sure. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, like, share, subscribe, or let us know in the comment
Listen
section
to us
below.
on Spotify and other podcast
Apple Podcasts and all the other podcast platforms.
Wherever you get your podcast from.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next week. Ciao.